Okay, I'm gonna go get some lunch. 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 You won the internet. Congratulations. 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 You won the internet.
Are we going to address subject matter jurisdiction? 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 Are we going to address subject matter jurisdiction?
You're talking about stuff that is not relevant. Talking about stuff
The zombie apocalypse may be upon us. The zombie apocalypse may be upon us.
Somebody just sent me a video of roaches fighting. I don't know who won.
In front of the Walmart.
I don't know who won.
In front of the Walmart.
I'm not a cat.
In front of the Walmart.
I'm not a cat.
In front of the
Zelig
Walmart.
stole it as
I'm
well.
not a cat.
In front of the
Zelig
Walmart.
stole it as
I'm
well.
not a cat.
Have them send someone
Zelig
with
stole
more
it as well.
experience. Have them send someone
Zelig
with
stole
more
it as well.
Happy birthday. You look good.
Bring the jury.
Happy birthday. You look good.
Bring the jury.
Happy birthday. You look good. Happy birthday. You look good. Happy birthday.
I saw
I saw a chicken fight.
I'm not a camel.
I saw a chicken fight.
I'm not a camel.
I saw a chicken fight.
I'm not a camel.
I saw a chicken fight.
I'm not a camel.
Thank you, sir. You're my new best friend.
I'm not a camel.
Thank you, sir. You're my new best friend.
I think I'm about to catch a whooping. I think I'm about to catch a whooping. I think I'm about to catch a whooping.
The zombie apocalypse may be upon us. The zombie apocalypse may be upon us.
In front of the Walmart.
The zombie apocalypse may be upon us.
In front of the Walmart.
The zombie apocalypse
This is not
may be
Burger
upon
King.
us.
People do
Walmart.
not get to have it their way.
This is not Burger
In front of
King.
the
People do
Walmart.
not get
Somebody
to have
just
it
sent
their
me a
way.
video of roaches
Walmart.
fighting.
Somebody
I don't know who is video.
If they didn't, I would lose my mind. 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 If they didn't, I would lose.
Have them send someone with more experience. Have them send someone with more experience.
I'm not a cat.
Have them send someone with more experience.
I'm not a cat.
Have them send someone.
What more do you need to see?
Is that correct?
What more do you need to see?
Happy birthday. You look good.
To see?
Happy birthday. You look good.
Because he's the guy.
Happy birthday. You look good.
Because he's the guy.
Happy
Are we
birthday.
going to
You
address
look
subject
good.
matter jurisdiction?
Happy
Are we
birthday.
going to
You
address
look
subject
good.
matter jurisdiction?
Happy
Are we
birthday.
going to
You
address
look
subject
good.
matter jurisdiction?
Happy
Are we
birthday.
going to
You
address
look
subject
good.
matter jurisdiction?
Happy
Are we
birthday.
gonna
You're
address
talking
subject
about
matter
stuff that
jurisdiction?
is not real. Talking about stuff that
Bring
is
jury.
not real. Talking about stuff that
Bring
is
jury.
not real. Talking about stuff that
Bring
is
jury.
not real.
Somebody just sent me a video of
Bring
roaches
jury.
fighting. Somebody just sent me a video of
Bring
roaches
jury.
fighting. Somebody just sent me a video of
Bring
roaches
jury.
fighting. Somebody just sent me a video of roaches fighting. Somebody just sent me a video of roaches fighting. Somebody just sent me a video of roaches fighting. Somebody just sent me a video of roaches fighting.
I object. I object.
I'm not a camel.
I object.
I'm not a camel.
I object.
I
I'm
think
not a
I'm
camel.
about to catch a whooping. I think
not a
I'm
camel.
How does he
about to
do
catch
that?
a whooping. I think
not a
I'm
camel.
How does he
about
do
to catch
that?
a whooping.
In front of the Walmart.
How does
About
he
to
do
catch
that?
a whooping.
In front of the Walmart.
Are we going to address subject matter
In front of the
jurisdiction?
Walmart.
Are we going to address subject matter
In front of the
Thank you,
jurisdiction?
sir. You're
Walmart.
my new best
Are we
friend.
going to address subject matter
front of the
Thank you,
jurisdiction?
sir. You're my new best
Are we
friend.
going to address
Have them
subject
send
matter
someone
Thank you,
with
sir. You're my
more
new best friend.
experience. Have them send someone with
sir.
more
My new
I'm not a
experience.
cat.
Have them send someone with
sir. My
more
new
I'm not a
experience.
cat.
Have them send someone
Because
with
he's
more
the
experience.
guy.
Have them send someone.
Because he's the guy.
Now let Murdoch stole it.
Because he's the guy.
Now let Murdoch stole it.
I don't like
Now let
podiums, Your
Murdoch
Honor.
stole it.
I don't like
Now let
podiums, Your
Murdoch
Honor.
stole it.
I don't like
When are
podiums,
we
Your
going to
Honor.
break for lunch, Judge?
I don't like
When are
podiums,
we
Your
going to
Honor.
break for lunch, Judge?
Somebody just sent me a video of roaches fighting. Somebody just sent me a video of roaches fighting. Somebody just sent me a video of roaches fighting. Somebody just sent me a video of roaches fighting.
I was kicked back, taking it easy. I was kicked back, taking it easy. I was kicked back.
Happy
taking it
birthday.
easy.
You look good.
I was kicked back.
Happy
taking it
birthday.
easy.
You look good.
I was kicked back.
Happy
taking it
birthday.
easy.
You look good.
I was kicked back.
Happy
taking it
birthday.
easy.
You look good.
I was kicked back.
Happy
In front of the
birthday.
Walmart.
You look good.
I was kicked back.
Happy
In front of the
birthday.
Walmart.
You look good.
The zombie
front
apocalypse
of the
may be
Walmart.
upon us. The zombie apocalypse may be
Walmart.
upon us. The zombie apocalypse
the
may
You're
be upon
talking
us.
about stuff
The
that
zombie
is not
apocalypse may be
real.
upon us.
Squirrel.
I'm not a cat.
Have them send someone with more experience.
In front of the Walmart.
Are we gonna address subject matter jurisdiction?
I don't like podiums, Your Honor.
I was kicked back, taking it easy.
I'm not a camel.
I think I'm about to catch a whooping.
Bring the jury.
Somebody just sent me a video of roaches fighting. I don't know who won.
You're talking about stuff that is not relevant. Because he's the guy.
Happy birthday. You look good.
Alex stole it.
Are we gonna address subject matter jurisdiction?
I object.
Thank you, sir. You're my new best friend.
The zombie apocalypse may be upon us.
Somebody just sent me a video of roaches fighting. I don't know who won.
In front of the Walmart.
I think I'm about to catch a whooping.
Because he's the guy.
Scratch all that. Oh, that was terrible. I apologize.
I'm not a camel.
Have them send someone with more experience.
You're talking about stuff that is not relevant.
I'm not a cat.
Bring the jury.
Are we gonna address subject matter jurisdiction?
Thank you, sir. You're my new best friend.
Don't miss the forest for the trees.
I don't like podiums, Your Honor.
Happy birthday. You look good.
I think I'm about to catch a whooping.
I'm not a cat.
Because he's the guy.
Have them send someone with more experience.
You're talking about stuff that is not relevant.
The zombie apocalypse may be upon us.
I saw a chicken fight.
Bring the jury.
Somebody just sent me a video of roaches fighting. I don't know who won.
I'm not a cat.
Have them send someone with more experience.
When are we going to break for lunch, Judge?
In front of the Walmart.
Bring the jury.
Thank you, sir. You're my new best friend.
How does he do that?
What more do you need to see?
I'm not a cat.
How does he do that?
I think I'm about to catch a whooping.
You're talking about stuff that is not relevant.
There's a lawsuit.
Happy birthday. You look good.
I object.
Are we going to address subject matter jurisdiction?
Alex stole it.
Squirrel.
For the record, I don't consent to that name.
Happy birthday. You look good.
You're talking about stuff that is not relevant.
Alec Murdoch stole it.
Have them send someone with more experience.
Somebody just sent me a video of roaches fighting. I don't know who won.
In front of the Walmart.
The zombie apocalypse may be upon us.
Is that correct? I don't like podiums, Your Honor.
I'm not a camel.
I think
For the record, I don't consent to that name.
I saw a chicken fight.
Happy birthday. You look good.
All rise. Court is now in session.
Bring the jury.
Is that correct?
Are we going to address subject matter jurisdiction?
Somebody just sent me a video of roaches fighting. I don't know who won.
I object.
I'm not a cat.
I think I'm about to catch a whooping.
I saw a chicken fight.
I'm not a camel.
Happy birthday. You look good.
I don't like podiums, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. You're my new best friend.
Somebody just sent me a video of roaches fighting. I don't know who won.
In front of the Walmart.
I think I'm about to catch a whooping.
Have them send someone with more experience.
Are we going to address subject matter jurisdiction?
I'm not a cat.
Because he's the guy.
Alex stole it.
There's a lawsuit.
I think I'm about to catch a whooping.
I'm not a camel.
Happy birthday. You look good.
In front of the Walmart.
When are we going to break for lunch, Judge?
I think I'm about to catch a whooping.
Happy birthday. You look good.
If they didn't, I would lose my mind.
Sir, you're charged with especially aggravated kidnapping. You're also charged with aggravated assault. And you're charged with theft of a firearm worth less than $2,500.
You're talking about stuff that is not relevant.
Hello and welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the Recovery Addict, and boy do I have a case for you today.
Why is the dog chewing on this guy?
I think they have got the wrong guy there.
They got the wrong guy, and the dog was biting him.
He roughened him up quite a bit.
There's a lawsuit.
This is the next search on February 28th, 2020. 7:44 p.m. How does the FBI find people? The people's misspelled P-E-O-O-P-L-E.
I object.
Did the defendant find out how the FBI finds people in this case? Oh, she found out.
What more do you need to see?
AI made me do it.
It's bigger than you. It's bigger than me. It's bigger than all of us.
All right, welcome back. Welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the Recovery Addict. Love the FBI response to the fade.
If they didn't, I would lose my mind.
I would lose my mind, I'll tell you. Did you take a power nap? No, I just went and had some lunch. Jerry's like, we never left. We never left. Been here the whole time. Left us here by ourselves. All right. Let's make that full screen. Turn that on. We already gifted the internet. I don't know who's who. He started it. Mom! He's breathing my air. Yeah. All right. Spent the whole time on the phone with my sister. All right. It's good use of your time. Had a lot of fun with the echo. Yeah, I apologize. I didn't realize I had an echo going, and I sure did. But changed into a T-shirt. Getting ready for the weekend. This is a brand new tee, courtesy of Courtroom Confidential. You can't see it very well. It's a baby blue shirt, and right here it has in white. It says Courtroom Confidential on it. Very, very subtle. Part of their spring lineup, which I think is, I'm not sure if it's launched yet. So I got an early gift from them. So thank you very much to Courtroom Confidential for this. They've got a whole bunch of different colors. They've got like heather and they're all pastels. There's like purple and everything else. It's amazing. And the first thing that just struck me as soon as I picked up the tee is like, wow, this is nice material. Love it. So thank you. Big shout out to Courtroom Confidential. I don't think it's launched yet. Yeah, maybe I'm not supposed to. I might not supposed to be telling you that this is out yet. But this is a light blue, light blue, the summer collection. So I'm pretty excited. We need the screaming goat sound.
Your Honor.
Here's the problem: if I give you the screaming goat sound, you guys will use it all the time, and I can't stop you from using the sound effect any more than limiting it to once a minute. on any of my sound effects. So either I'd have to give it to mods only, which is not nice to the rest of y'all if they have access to the goat. Right now they just have buffer.
I think I'm about to catch a whooping.
Yeah, Josh, I was out eating lunch and I came back. I walked by the studio. I'm like, oh no, I can hear court is happening. And I run in here and there's like an echo of all the commands going off. I'm like, oh, that was terrible. So I apologize about the echo. That was my fault. I'm mad with you after your blasphemy on podcast last night at the TV. What did I say? Sloth Life. What did I speak badly about? I'm guessing your definition of blasphemy is a little different than mine. But let me know where we're at. Where's the timer? It's up here in the corner. We are 2 minutes away. 2 minutes away from hitting the 5 hours to the deliberation mark. Wow. I have my own goat, but I need the moody cow. The cow is nice.
Murdoch stole it.
Although it's been harder to find on Amazon lately.
Lunch, Judge?
So sometimes that means they charge too much for it. I changed my shirt. I did. Probably because I spilled a little bit of coleslaw on my other shirt. In my haste to consume. My neighbor across the street.
Are we going to address subject matter jurisdiction?
He often cooks us
This is not Burger
catfish
King.
bites.
People do not get to have it
And
their
brings
way.
over some catfish coleslaw and what's that one thing? Like little cornbread pieces, but they're not. Somebody tell me. I should know this. This is my old age. Fried chicken coleslaw. Hush puppies! Hush puppies! Yes, that's it. Chipsy Tracy, thank you. You said hish puppies, but I know what you meant to type. He makes us those. He makes them because he thinks we love them. And I like catfish, but none of the rest of my family does. And so he makes enough for the whole family, and his memory isn't good enough to remember we don't like it, and so he just keeps making it for us, and we appreciate him. But he brought over some coleslaw as well, so I got a little bit of that, and it was good. Katie Rustin says, everyone needs to buy their own goat from you. I have 6, and they're a great conversation starter and a fun gift. We do have a link to the goat. If you want a goat, this is what I consider necessary court watching. It's not apparel, but it's an accessory. Thank you very much, 6volt, for putting the link up here. There's the link. There's the link to the goat. I think it still works. Let me check it. Let's see. Yep, it pulls up the goat. That is an affiliate link, just for the, I have to say that so the lawyers don't get mad at me. So if you do buy a goat or anything else after clicking on that link on Amazon, Amazon may reward me with a small thank you token financially. I'm a North Carolinian now. I should remember hush puppies. I don't like them. I don't like hush puppies. I never have. I'm sorry. 5 hours just rolled over the clock 30 seconds ago. So thank you, Hipster Doofus, for catching that one right as it went by. I missed the timer. Why did the Easy Green Enchiladas recipe pop up in my Facebook feed? No clue. No clue. Blasphemy of a sacred thing, the invention of the TV. Scotland's going to claim that? Scotland's going to claim that from Idaho? From Mr. Farnsworth? Now I'm in trouble. Dip them in soft butter. I was going to dip them in the garbage. Well, not dip, because dip implies that they're brought back out. I was just going to immerse them in the garbage. Of course Scotland's going to claim it. They claim everything. They think half of England belongs to them. They might be right. Judge denied her claim again. Look who's on the phone.
Call from
I'm about to get a whooping. I'm about to catch a whooping. Hello, Sloth Life. How are you doing?
Tell Vivian Anderson today I'll have a square go with her.
Say that again.
I said, tell that Vivian Anderson I'll have a square go with her.
Oh.
She's saying, of course, Scotland's going to claim it.
Yep. So you guys think you also invented television?
Go on to check your facts. John Logie Baird invented the first mechanical television in 1926. Your guy from the US invented the first electronic television.
Which one do we watch?
A year later.
Wait. Let me just say, which one do we watch?
No, but let me just also tell you, John Logie Baird did the first ever international transmission in 1928. So what are we watching now? International transmission of the television. He also did the first colour television. Yeah, your American had a part in it, but do not take away from us Scots. You may take our country, but you'll never take our tellies.
Oh, okay. See, I knew somebody else wanted a piece of our pie. I knew somebody else wanted a piece of our claim to fame. Oh, wow.
You mean our claim to fame?
I have not been told off with such vim and vigor in quite a while.
I'm only winding you up.
Let me say this. You sound like you're doing great. You sound like you're feeling better. Are you?
I'm feeling a lot better today, yes. The last 2 days, my husband tried to convince me to go to the emergency room because if you check our National Health Service symptom checker, both times when I told him my symptoms, it came up and said go to the emergency room. But I have fibromyalgia, and I know there's a few in the chat have it. And if you have, you're in a pickle, or you're showing me a pickle.
I was answering the questions. Fractured wants to know if I have a screaming pickle, and I do.
Oh, right, good. Yes. So, I'm feeling a lot better today. My random pains that I thought were possibly an aortic aneurysm or something have passed. So I'm doing good. I watched the podcast in replay, and when you asked who invented television, and the first words out my mouth were John Logie Baird, and then I heard the blasphemy. I just couldn't take it.
I just Googled it really quickly. Who invented TV? Vallow Farnsworth, an American inventor. Now, if I read further down in the subnotes, there's a footnote that says others like John Logie Baird and Walter Brunch contributed to the mechanical TV systems, but Farnsworth's design had the foundation for modern television. I mean,
that's okay. We'll let you steal our ideas. It's fine. We're very generous in Scotland. I told you that yesterday.
That's awesome. Well, thank you. Thanks for clearing up my history. So.
Yeah, and for all the people in chat that say they can't understand me, believe it or not, I'm actually slowing my speech down when I call, because if I spoke the way I spoke, or the way we all speak in the west of Scotland, you probably wouldn't understand a word of it. So I do actually slow my speech down.
What she said was, no, just kidding. I'm just giving you a hard time.
What I said was, if I spoke at the same speed that I speak in the west of Scotland, you probably wouldn't understand a word that I said, because we talk about 100 mile an hour and we talk like that. You get what I mean? So do you understand anything that I've just said to you?
I do. Of course, I've got a friend who's from Edinburgh, and I love the Scottish accents. It's
Edinburgh's the posh side.
Yeah.
Edinburgh's the posh side. We're a wee bit rough on this side. That's why the Glaswegians are called Ouijies.
Yeah.
And people, as I said, I'm from Paisley, but we're called buddies because we're nice people. I'm a Paisley buddy.
Well,
you're a North
like
Carolinian, you know.
We like you, so we appreciate it.
You either like me or hate me.
Sloth Life, thank you very much.
Right, no problem. I'm going to let you go. I'm surprised you don't have a verdict yet. Have a great one, folks. Right. Have a great weekend, everyone.
We'll
Bye.
Bye. Oh, I cut her off a little bit. Sorry about that. Oh, wow. I've been told off by Sloth Life. Scotland was instrumental in the creation of television. Couldn't have done it without them. I think that's what I need to say there. All right, let's see. Scotland invented the weekend. Yes. Team Sloth Life down with RA. I hear the chants now. It is wonderful. Her accent is fantastic. All right, we have 5 hours. I have to ask the question: is anyone getting nervous? Is 5 hours that's like an average deliberation time, right? Judge just came back into the courtroom. Are you sure? Did that just happen? Let's see if there's any movement here. I've seen a little shake to the camera, which could mean people are walking around. But let's do a check. Let's see. See if we go back to Lori Vallow or if we've got something to watch here out of Michigan right now. Nothing. I'm not seeing anything. Any updates? Judge Boyd is where we need to go next. Is that a thing? Does she have a case right now? She had a big case here a little while ago. Let's see. Do you want to go back to Lori Vallow or to Judge Boyd? Let's ask around. Can we watch more of Lori? Your Rapper murder trial began yesterday. I got a couple of emails about that. Yeah, it's the Tay K McIntyre or something like that.
Alex stole it.
Let's see. Boyd, Lori. Lots of Lori, some Boyds, more Lori. Oh my goodness. Another call. Hang on. Hello?
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 Yeah, I'm speaking with Dwayne.
You are.
Good day, sir. This is Venice, calling from Your Choice Getaways. How are you?
I'm doing really good today.
All right, I'm glad to hear that. So, by the way, I am calling about a large amount of travel credit that you have on file. And I see the activation fees were covered. You just never book dates and travel.
Right.
Well, we don't want to see you lose the credit or the vacations themselves. And I know you still see yourself traveling in the future. Am I correct?
I do.
All right, that's awesome. So now the first thing we need to cover here is that this package is good for a lifetime. So you can use this when you're ready to travel. First, we are starting you off with a 4 days and 3 nights resort stay in Vegas, either on or off the strip. So followed by 4 days and 3 nights resort stay in Orlando, minutes away from all the theme parks. And additionally, you can enjoy an 8 days, 7 nights, all-inclusive Flix cruise with Carnival, Royal Caribbean, or Norwegian Cruise Lines. So now all I see remaining are the original and processing fees. I know that I can do something really special for you. So give me a moment to pull up your full account and to see what is best for you here, okay? Sounds good?
All right. As long as you don't put me on hold.
All right.
I have a hard time being on hold.
Yeah. Please bear with me.
Just won't put me on hold. We'll be okay. Did you just put me on hold? She put me on hold. I specifically said, don't put me on hold. Okay. I don't know what music this is. It sounds like The Entertainer. How rude. How rude. Ragtime, maybe?
Hey, Dwayne.
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. How are you, sir?
Not bad. What's happening?
Oh, not much. You should know what's happening by now. We've called you about 10 different times, Dwayne, about the package.
I
So
do
is there any
recall a couple other
reason?
calls.
Yeah, it's been about 10 of them, Dwayne. So basically, you should know the package better than I do by now.
Well, we've got
Okay.
4 days, 3 nights in Las Vegas, on or off the Strip. We've got some Carnival cruise. There's one that's like 7-day, 8-day with all the cruise lines. I'm super excited. I'm looking actually for like a tent excursion. If you have one that's more like this specific.
No, sir. This is what comes in the package. Your balance is $798, sir. If you want to take advantage of the offer, we'll go ahead and process the payment today. If not, I'm closing this out so we don't bother you anymore, sir.
Is that a promise? Because hang on with me just for a minute. Can you please not call me back? Can you please call me back? We called you about 10 different times. It's actually much more than that. It's much, much more than that. Oh, man. He's got notes on my file. But what? Let's do a quick poll. Quick poll. Polls up in chat. Will they call back? Yes or no? If what he said was true, not going to call back. Just lost your vacation packages. I've been asking to get taken off that list for years. Years. I've told them exactly what I do, that I'm never going to buy from them. That I have little voodoo dolls of them in my basement, and every time they call, I add more pins. I've told them everything, and they still call back. That's it. I just lost $800. Just boom, $1,500 in travel credits gone. I could have banked them. They never expire. They're lifetime, but now I won't have a chance. My choice, your choice, travel has written me off as a loss. Poor Dwayne. He's never going to get a vacation. So, I think I've talked to that guy before. I think we've hassled him particularly. Ooh, just got a flash from court, an on and off flash on the feed. I'm not sure if that is indication of something happening or motion. What was the credit amount? $1,500. What's the actual scam? I don't have a credit. That's the scam. They just want to sell me. They just want to sell me something. He gave me the ultimatum. He said, we only call people 10 times and then we stop. And this is the 10th. And if you don't buy, I'm sorry, we'll never forgive you. She wanted to go to Vegas. We actually went to Vegas. And we benefited as a check-in at the hotel. I forget which hotel we stayed at. I don't know if it was like the Luxor or something. I think it might have been the Luxor. Fun little trip down. Mrs. R.A. had not yet updated her driver's license to show her married name. And so when we went to check in, we're standing in line, and I don't know how long we'd been married. I don't know, probably like 8 months at the time. And we go to check in, and we're showing IDs, and they're like, the last name's different. And she said something to the effect of, oh, we just got married. When I heard Mrs. R.A. say we just got married, it's like, yeah, we did. You know, this was just last year. We just barely tied the knot type thing. Put a ring on it. the hotel clerk who was checking us in heard, "We just got married." Like we just came from the Little White Chapel. Elvis himself just performed the ceremony. I think that's what they heard. And so they're like, "Oh, congratulations. That's awesome. Tell you what, we're going to upgrade you to the presidential suite." So for the same price. I didn't correct you, Mrs. R.A., because I knew what was happening. We were getting the free upgrade. And so for the same price, we got the nice room, the really nice one, like with the bed up on the 2-story step up to the dais, the wings of the apartment. It was fantastic. It was great. So just a fun little travel tip to the rest of you. Don't update your driver's license. Keep your old one and show it to the hotel clerk and like, we just got married. And cha-ching, cha-ching. Yeah, score for sure. To this moment, I had no idea why they upgraded us. Seriously? I thought you were playing the game. I learned this about my wife today. I thought she was doing it on purpose. All right. And I've been on they haven't allowed me in the casino since. Probably because we didn't gamble. That's probably what it was. Just came for the buffet. Going to have to change my name back to my maiden name and use that trick. I slipped them at 20. Sorry, he says I slipped them at 20. Yeah, between the driver's license and the booking card, you just insert that $20 bill. Strawberries and champagne, free in the room. Sloth Life, did he tell you he's a little bit of a crazy Scot? Yeah, I am. Sloth Life, just so you know, I have sung O Flower of Scotland to an audience of thousands of people while wearing a authentic wool kilt with my clan colors and the pattern and everything. Gilly Brogues, the full deal. Sporin. I think I was wearing what I describe as a poet shirt, which is like one of those shirt, like a pirate shirt that has the lace up the front. One of those. I think I had a sword on at the time too. It was. I have. There's a special place in my heart for Scotland. Now I would love to hear, but has to have the bad pipes. I can't even play the chanter. It's all I can do, Sloth Life, to make some noise with a little, the tin whistle. I did have it. I could play the tin whistle. If it's like when you go in difficulty, tin whistle, chanter, bagpipes. It goes in that order, and I can play the tin whistle. Some. I mean, I could do like Mary Had a Little Lamb and things like that, and other really difficult tunes. Pixar didn't happen. My wedding reception, my wife and I, we both wore dresses. Mine was a kilt. Hers was a dress. Apparently, I did it wrong. I was not supposed to do that. Gentlemen, don't wear a kilt for your wedding. Don't do it. I'm a legend on the kazoo. Oh, kazoo, tin whistle, chanter, bagpipes, in that order. The recorder, I've never been good at the recorder. Did you go traditional asking for a friend? Yes. Eileen, I think you're referring to what you wear under the kilt. And yes, I did full tradition, so I wore the socks and shoes. Everything. I did not go barefoot. Not at all. All right. You wore it best, and everyone in the line let me know. Yeah. Sorry. All right. So we do not have a verdict yet. We are 5 hours and 21 minutes into deliberation. We're going to jump back into Lori Vallow and continue the hearing that was happening there. All right. I think we've got some sound. I think we paused them at lunch, so we're going to skip ahead to when lunch is over. This is yesterday's happenings, as the court is not doing anything right now. Oh, there's some spicy cross in here I can see already. Okay. All right. Let's go here. I need to go super source, turn the audio on.
Thank you.
There's audio.
So we were talking before lunch, and you have told us that you sort of spent 2 weekends getting to know Lori Vallow, correct?
Yes.
That was the November of 2018 visit?
With a lot of other people there, correct? Yeah.
And then the March of 2019 visit?
Yes, the girls' weekend.
And that was a much smaller group of people?
Correct.
And I think you had said that as Lori started expressing some of these beliefs that went against the LDS religion, that you started sort of questioning her about this.
Correct.
After that, did you feel like she started pulling away or limiting her contact with you?
Yes.
You told us that you had moved to Arizona in end of July or August-ish of 2019, correct?
Yes.
Did you ever see Lori again after you moved to Arizona?
Twice more.
Can you talk to us the first time that you saw her?
The first time I saw her, Zulema organized a girls' lunch to welcome me, she said. And so Lori was there. She came with Alex, her brother, and basically I said hi, and not much more than that. She sat on the other side of the restaurant, opposite of me. So, and not much contact there, but.
Okay. And then what was the other contact you had with her?
I can't remember how it was organized. Perhaps at that lunch, Lori invited the women over to her house to just talk. And she had just lost her husband. And I don't know if I was included by accident or how that happened. I don't remember exactly, but I did go over to her house that night because here's somebody that I knew, and she had just lost her husband, which that's a big deal. And I wanted to find out how she was doing and what was going on.
Did you know anything at that time about the loss of her husband, like what had happened?
I had heard vague things, but I had been across the country, so I didn't know any particulars.
Do you recall who was at the house that night?
Multiple women, but I actually don't remember who was there. I think Melanie Gibb was there, and then a few other ladies, but I actually don't remember who.
And do you recall, was that still that same time frame of like either the end of July or the beginning of August?
Yes.
Okay. Can you describe for us
That was
Lori's
yucky.
demeanor
Whoever
at
just
this
did that into the microphone.
meeting, this gathering at her house?
I would assume, like in my estimation, it was more like stoic. I didn't see any like mourning or crying.
After that contact with Lori, did you ever see her again?
No.
Did you know that she had moved out of state?
No, not till long after she already had.
Did you know that she had married Chad Daybell?
Nope.
So basically,
Know where
after
the
paying
children
your
were.
condolences, that was sort of the end of your contact friendship with Lori Vallow?
Yes, I think there might have been a few texts after that just to check up on her and see how she was doing. She had just lost her husband again, so, and I think she was trying to figure out how to move forward, and I was concerned. So, but nothing of substance.
Was your interactions with her via text very limited?
Yes.
No other questions, Your Honor.
Spicy cross incoming. We've got verdict watch in the top left corner of your screen. 5 hours and 26 minutes of deliberation so far. No questions from the jury in Michigan.
Ms. Sharp, did you take an oath when you came into this courtroom today?
Yes, I did.
Did you raise your hand?
Yes, I did.
Did you swear to tell the truth?
Yes, I did.
The whole truth?
Yes.
That's all pretty much the same
Nothing but the
question.
truth?
Yes.
So help you who?
God.
So can we agree that this court acknowledges that your testimony here today will be accountable to God?
Your Honor, I'm going to object to the relevance of this.
Sustained.
Your Honor, they brought up the religion.
Ask for a response. It's sustained. Ask the next question.
Do you believe that your testimony here will be accountable to God?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Sharp, how many times did we meet in person?
4.
How many one-on-one conversations during those meetings do you think that we actually had? Just you and me. Nobody else around. Just you and me.
Maybe 2.
2 conversations in our whole lives?
Maybe
just
3.
me and you?
You said during those meetings.
During the 4 times that we saw each other in person, how many times did you and I have a one-on-one conversation where other people were not in the conversation? Just me and you.
I can remember 3.
Okay. And how many times did we communicate on the phone?
Do you want me to estimate? I don't remember how many times.
Sure, just an estimate.
I'm not sure how to estimate that. Multiple times?
Like more than 10 or less than 10?
Probably more than 10.
More than 20?
I don't remember.
Okay. And text messages, the same. How many times do you think that we conversed via text?
I don't know. I'm not sure how to answer that again.
Okay, so
multiple times.
Okay. So would it be fair to say that some of the things that you remember are from other people and not actually from me to you directly?
Perhaps.
Okay. So in the instance when you said that I mentioned to you something about zombies, I would like to know what I said to you exactly verbatim about zombies.
Well, I remember we talked about zombies in 2019 for the girls' weekend. You had mentioned zombies.
I mentioned zombies at that weekend out of my mouth, and not someone else, but me.
Object to argumentative.
Overruled. You can ask. Why don't you rephrase that question?
Okay. So you're saying, under oath, that I said the word zombies at that meeting, or I'll go with that.
To the best of my recollection, it was that weekend during the girls' weekend, 2019. And again, that was 6 years ago, so like verbatim, I don't remember verbatim, but I think it was that weekend.
So it could have been that someone else was talking to you about zombies, but I was actually there also. Is that correct?
I'm going to object that the witness has answered that question and said it was her.
Overruled. She can answer.
Would you mind restating, please?
Is it possible that someone else said the word zombie and not me at that meeting when we were all there with the girls?
It's possible, but I don't think it was. I think it
Then
was
what
you.
did I say exactly about zombies? I want to know the sentence I said to you about zombies.
Hold on.
Again,
Ask questions, okay?
I
Don't make
object to
statements.
asked and answered.
So rephrase your question.
What sentence did I say to you with the word zombie in it.
And I'm going to object to asked and answered.
I'll allow this one more.
Technically, it has been asked and answered, but go ahead and answer.
Again, I don't remember verbatim. That was, 6 years ago?
So it could be possible that it really never came out of my mouth. Is that true?
Okay, I'm going to object again to asked and answered now a third time.
Sustained.
Ms. Sharp, who are the three Nephites in the Book of Mormon?
You need an explanation on this?
The three Nephites?
Let's
I'm
see what
sorry,
she
I
does.
don't understand the question.
In 3 Nephi 28, the three Nephites, do you know who they are?
Off the top of my head, no.
You do not know who they are?
No, not off the top of my head.
Okay. In the Bible, do you know of John the Revelator?
Yes.
Do you know of John the Revelator being translated?
I don't remember that, but...
You don't remember that? What about in the Old Testament, Elijah? Was he translated?
Your Honor, I'm going to object to relevance.
What's the relevance?
I've been accused of being out of the scope of the LDS religion when this is exactly in the scope of the LDS religion.
All right, I guess to the extent you're comparing yourself to these biblical figures, I'll allow it.
The judge.
Was Elijah translated? Yes, I believe so.
Okay. But you don't know that John the Revelator was translated as well?
I can't remember.
And then the three Nephites in the Book of Mormon, they're translated as well?
No, there were three. You asked me their names. I don't remember their names.
I wasn't asking their names. I said, do you know who they are? As in, are you aware of them? I'm sorry. I'll be more specific. Are you aware of the three Nephites in the Book of Mormon?
Yes.
That they were translated?
Yes.
So is it fair to say that that isn't uncommon in the Christian belief system, to believe in people being translated?
I don't know if I'm qualified to answer that question for all of Christianity.
She's like,
Okay.
Am I the spokesperson?
Are you a Christian that believes in the Bible?
Yes.
Object, Your Honor, to relevance.
I'll allow it briefly, but hurry up and make your point.
Yes, I believe in the Bible, of course.
And Elijah in the Bible is translated, right?
Yes.
And you believe in that, right?
Yes.
And you're a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, is that correct?
Correct.
So that would not be out of the scope of what you believe. That's all I'm asking.
Correct.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know. Thank you. So when we were having this girls' weekend, what else did we do besides one prayer?
Hang on one second. Okay, we're going to.
I remember.
We're gonna cut for just a second. Somebody asked for a translation. Can we get a definition of translated? What she's talking about is somebody who's living on Earth who has a mortal body that dies, being spiritually switched from that mortal body to what we believe you will get after resurrection. So after you die, and then when everyone is resurrected, we believe that that is a different body that can't die. And so she's saying we have in the scriptures records of these individuals who change so they won't taste of death, right? That's the way they say it. They'll never taste death, and they'll just they're switched. Their body is converted somehow to something that will not die, and we call it translated. So she's saying, because you believe in that, me saying that I'm translated, that's not far out, right? Well, it is. It is far out. So let's see. Let's see where we are.
Prayer was, but that was not,
I missed a tiny bit.
from my perspective, the focus or majority of our time spent.
Okay. How long would you say that prayer was? 10 minutes? Longer?
10-minute prayer.
I don't recall.
Okay. But a tiny portion of our whole fun weekend, right?
It was a small portion, yes.
Okay. How many communications have you had over the past 5 years with Christina Atwood?
Many.
Like how many?
Again, I'm not sure how to estimate that.
Daily, weekly, monthly?
Weekly for sure, sometimes daily.
The defendant is in black asking the questions. A witness is on the stand. Lori Vallow is the defendant. She is pro se in
So
this
would you
case.
say over the past 5 years that your relationship has grown with Christina?
Yes.
And are you related now?
To Christina?
Uh-huh.
No, we're not related.
Oh, as in-laws?
No.
Okay. I wondered. I didn't know.
There was a comment. She said she wasn't going to do that.
Ask that the defendant be told not to comment about the questions and testify.
Yes, the jury should disregard that comment after the answer.
Are you still in contact with Zulema Pastenes?
No, I haven't had contact with her in a while.
Are you in contact with Kay Woodcock?
Who? I'm sorry?
Kay Woodcock?
I don't know who that is.
Okay.
Is this Lori's hit list?
Are you still in contact with Nicole Earl?
Yes.
How often?
Often. Again.
Weekly or daily?
Weekly, sometimes daily.
Okay. What about Melanie Gibb? Are you still in contact with her?
No. I run into her occasionally, but
This is a personal vendetta she's carrying out. No lawyer would do this for her, so she has to be pro se to do it.
You said also in your testimony earlier that I said that I believe I don't need to repent and you are shocked. Is that correct?
yes.
What did I say to you exactly?
Again, I don't remember verbatim. That was over 6 years ago, but something to the effect of you didn't need to repent. Again, I don't know exactly, but or we didn't need to repent, whatever it was, but yes, that's what I remember.
What was the context of that conversation? Like, how would that come up? I'm like, how would that come up?
Well, you just
I
waltzed in.
don't remember what we were talking about or how that subject was brought to the forefront, but it was, I definitely remember that comment.
You remember that coming out of my mouth to you specifically, not from someone else, but from me to you directly.
Yes, and it was, I think, in front of all of us, but I'm not very clear on that. I think it was to all of us.
Yep, we
from
remember
you.
that.
So was I teaching a class that you attended and said something in that regard?
No.
Why would I be the one speaking?
Sometimes we take turns when we speak.
Speculation as to why the defendant would be speaking?
I'll let the answer stand. She answered.
Somebody just bite a cough drop?
You said something about
Who was doing that?
being uncomfortable
I mean, I do it, but who does it in the
on that
microphone?
weekend. Is that correct?
Lori's biting the
With
cuff.
some of the topics.
Yes.
Why didn't you just leave if you were so uncomfortable?
Why didn't you just leave?
I was uncomfortable with some of the topics, but I was still there with friends, and I had flown across the country, so it was not easy to leave, and I didn't feel like I needed to leave at that point.
But you're a grown woman, right? You have your own mind and ideas.
Yes, of course.
So would it be fair to say that you didn't disagree so much at the time, but now looking back on it, you disagree?
I don't think that's a fair comment. No.
And would it also be fair to say that
No, also, the first one wasn't. She said,
we had a good time that weekend?
Yes, we did have a good time.
And that now you've changed your mind a little bit?
that I'm a good hostess.
I'm sorry, I don't understand the question. Change my mind about what?
About what made you uncomfortable?
Did she have like a bag of Doritos up there?
No, I didn't change my mind.
You had mentioned something about
There was just that one moment, Kathy. Other than that, it was really good. It was really good. Do you remember my enchiladas, Chenjo? Oh man, do you remember something about whose green chili chicken enchiladas won in the contest? Did you have seconds?
you were interviewed by the police a couple of times. Is that correct?
Yes.
How many times?
Twice.
Who were you interviewed by?
The first time a detective came to my home, his name was Nate Moffat, I think.
Okay.
Does she bring up
When
enchiladas
was that about,
with other people?
approximately?
I want to say spring 2020.
Okay. How long was that interview?
I don't remember.
Like an hour or less, or?
And Your Honor, the witness has already answered the question. She doesn't remember.
When's the closing
Can you
submission?
estimate how long that interview was?
Might have to.
Well, from my memory, I don't remember it well. I thought it was only a few minutes, but
Okay.
I think it was longer than that, perhaps.
Longer than a few minutes?
Yes.
What about your second interview? Who was that with?
That was with two detectives from Idaho
And where did that take place?
in the Chandler Police Station.
And how long was that interview?
That one I remember being longer, for sure. Over an hour, perhaps an hour and a half.
And what did you exactly have to contribute to the police for an hour and a half with someone that you have only met 3 times in person in your life?
Objection, speculation, relevance.
Sustained.
What were they interested in you telling them?
All the details. They wanted the
And
dirt.
I'm going to object to speculation, relevance.
Sustained.
Let's see if she opens the door.
What did you tell them about me in those interviews?
Objection overbroad?
Oh,
Foundation?
also calls for hearsay.
Yeah.
Sustained.
All the reasons. Judge is really quiet. He's kicked back in his chair away from his mic.
Do you feel like you have something to offer here today in relation to the crime that I'm charged with?
Objection relevance goes to the final opinion.
Ms. Sharp, did you see or hear or personally witness me conspire with my brother or anyone else to murder my husband, Charles Vallow?
No, I did not.
Thank you. No more questions.
Redirect.
Thank you. Your invite for the next girls' night weekend is in the mail. Thank you. Bring your enchiladas.
You were asked a lot about taking an oath. Do you take that seriously?
Yes, I do.
Is everything that you told the jury here today the truth to the best of your knowledge?
To the best of my memory and knowledge, yes.
So when you don't remember something, you've been asked to try to guess, you don't remember how long something is, but you're not making up things in here.
I'm trying not to. I'm trying to go for my best memory.
It's been 6 years since you attended these meetings, correct?
Correct.
So you don't remember the number of phone calls that you and Lori had 6 years ago?
No, not at all.
You didn't keep tally marks of them through your days and put them on your nightstand so you could remember it later?
No.
How about the text messages? You tally those up for you so later on you'd be able to remember that you had 50 of them or 100 or whatever it was?
No, definitely not.
Are there things that stand out in your memory that you recall very well?
Yes, there are.
Is one of those the fact that Lori Vallow told you that you didn't need to repent or that she didn't need to repent?
Yes.
Was another one of them her telling you that her husband was possessed by an evil spirit that she named Ned?
Yes, definitely remember that clearly.
You were asked about whether being translated was something unusual to you. When you are reading the Book of Mormon or the Bible, are there biblical figures within those books who are translated beings?
Yes.
Was it not something that you had heard people tell you that they were?
Correct.
And
I'd never heard that before.
So you read about it?
Yes.
By prophets and people like that?
Yes.
You were also asked about that girls' weekend, and I believe that the defendant said that you did a prayer. Did you have more than one prayer over the weekend? Did you guys pray together?
I can't remember specifically, but I assume we prayed over the food and we prayed over, there was probably multiple prayers, my guess.
Is that different than when you guys met to cast out the evil spirit of Ned inside of Charles Vallow?
Yes, it felt different.
So you wouldn't equate a prayer as identical to doing a cast out?
Correct. There are different kinds of prayers.
That's the secret. You have to pray over your enchiladas.
You were asked about why you stayed there that weekend. As someone who was a grown woman and strong in your faith, did you in fact question Lori when she talked about not needing to repent?
I don't remember how I responded. I definitely pondered that for a while. I remember talking to others. I can't remember if I spoke specifically with Lori about that at that time.
You were, even though that was something you knew not to be within your faith, You didn't just pack up and run away.
No.
Are there other women there that you were also friends with?
Yes.
People who you're still friends with?
Yes.
These women that you are still friends with, is anything about your relationship with them changed the fact that you remember Lori saying she didn't want to repent?
I don't think so.
Like you didn't say, hey, Christina, I feel like just making up something to say against Lori. What do you think we should talk about?
No.
You didn't sidle up to Nicole and say, Nicole, let's make up a story about Charles being possessed by Ned. What do you think?
No.
Those are just your memories.
Those are my memories.
I have no other questions, Your Honor.
Jury questions?
Are there any questions from any member of the jury? If so, please pass those questions forward. I'm not seeing any. All right, you can step down, ma'am.
Thank you.
Stake and call next one.
Thank you.
Thanks, 6 volt. Appreciate it. I could translate a few. I could translate a whole pan of them. Next up is Kay. This was the last, I think, the fiery one we had. I'm not sure how much we're going to get to listen to. I'm not sure how long it is. Do we fast forward? Judge cracks open another cold one. Might be the Celebrite guy. Yeah, I was covering Lori's face. Didn't get to see it. I should have disappeared for a second. Judge has a cough. Coughs again. So I don't know. It's not gone yet. You might want to do a third one. Oh, yeah. That was a good one. That's better.
Come right up here and be sworn in. Just stand here.
This is not Kay.
Can you spell your name for the record?
I do. My name is William McDonald, W-I-L-L-I-A-M.
I'm gonna skip ahead through this guy. I think he's the Celebrite guy, and I don't think there's any cross from Lori on him. So let's see. I think we'll just go to
Within the last year or so, that information, regardless of it being deleted, can be recovered by the software.
Follow up from the defense based on that question.
So, typical Celebrite.
No,
All right, sir, you can
testimony.
step down. Thank you.
Thank you.
They
State
imaged
and
your
call us
phone.
next witness.
Thank you.
Lori doesn't have an issue with him. So. Do we skip the next one as well? Jen Christie says next 2 witnesses are boring. I don't know what Kay looks like, so we need to find her. Auger, I'm sorry. Sucks when bills go up. They never go down. You never open a bill and it's like, huh, they dropped the rate again. It's always like, oh, there's a new fee. She has a flowered dress on. Okay. Let's see who this is. Blue shirt, blonde hair is what we're looking for.
State calls Marissa Francisco.
Okay, we're going to skip this one. We get a little break after her. They go on break. And here we go. We're coming back from break.
All right, please be seated. We're on the record. The jury is present. State call us next witness.
Kay Woodcock, there she is. She's sitting in the audience.
All right, ma'am.
In the gallery. So she has listened to all this.
You do solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
All right, go and have a seat to my left.
Would you please introduce yourself to the jury?
My name is Kay Woodcock. Charles Vallow's younger sister.
How old are you?
How old am I? Today?
Today.
64.
And are you married?
Yes.
Where do you currently live?
Lake Charles, Louisiana.
I want to talk to you about your siblings. You told us that you are Charles's sister. How many siblings were there in your family?
6.
And where did Charles fall into that?
He was number 3.
Who are the other siblings?
My oldest sister, Terry, then my next sister, Susan, then Charles, then Jerry, then me, then Bobby.
And where did you guys grow up?
We're in Lake Charles.
Okay. Were you close with your brother?
Yes, I was.
Did you know his wife, Lori Vallow?
Yes, I do.
Can you point her out in the courtroom and tell us what she's wearing?
She's the defendant over there in the black jacket.
Your Honor, may the record reflect the witness has identified the defendant.
Mitchell.
I want to talk to you sort of about Lori and Charles. Were you at their wedding?
No, they went to Las Vegas.
They eloped.
Do you recall what year they got married?
Elvis.
2006.
Elvis married them in Little White
Did
Chapel.
they have a reception that?
I don't know if that's what you'd call it, but there was a family gathering in March of 2006 at a ranch in near Austin, Texas, that we all went to.
Okay, kind of to celebrate that?
Yes.
Had your brother Charles been married before?
Yes.
Did he have any children from his prior marriage?
Yes.
How many?
2.
And who were they?
Cole Vallow and Zach Vallow.
And did you know if Lori had any children from a prior marriage?
Yes. Colby Ryan and Tylee Ryan.
When Lori and Charles got married, did Charles's 2 sons live with them?
Live with Charles and Lori?
Yeah.
No.
Did they stay with their mother?
Yes, they did. They visited, but they never lived there.
Where were they? Was that in Arizona or still in Texas?
In Austin.
I want to ask you sort of some of the ages of the children involved. In July of 2019, was Tylee still a minor?
Yes.
So she was still living with them?
Yes.
In July of 29, do you know if Colby was still a minor?
Yes. Oh, wait, no, Colby was not.
He was an adult at
He
that
was an
point.
adult.
And in July of 2019, were Charles's 2 sons, Cole and Zach, still minors or adults?
They were adults.
Okay. Did Charles and Lori have any children together?
They adopted my grandson, JJ.
And can you tell us how that worked out?
How that worked out,
Or
meaning
how did they get involved in adopting your grandchild?
Charles approached me about it one day. He called, and I mean, there was a lot of stuff going on then, and that was my son's child, and there was a lot going on. So I just told him then, look, I can't make a decision like that. We don't know how this is going to go. Just, well, just keep me in mind. Keep it in mind. And so I kept it in mind.
And do you recall, when did they adopt JJ?
It was final in July of 2014.
How old was he then?
He was 2.
Okay. Did JJ have any special needs?
Yes, he was autistic, and he was born 10 weeks premature.
Okay. So he took a little extra care.
He did, absolutely.
Do you recall, so if he was 2 and they adopted him, how old was he in July of 2019?
He was 7. We spent his 7th birthday together in Lake Charles.
So in July of 2019, to your knowledge, Lori and Charles still had 2 children under the age of 18 with them, Tylee and JJ?
Yes.
So if in July of 2019, Lori Vallow was saying she had 5 kids she was taking care of, you were unaware of the other 3?
There were not 5 there, no. There were 2.
Can you tell us about the relationship between Charles and JJ?
Charles was the best dad. I mean, he was always doting on him. The arrangement I figured out eventually was that if Charles was working out of town, Lori had him all by herself, and so when Charles got back to town, JJ was his to take care of, 100%.
Would Charles bring JJ to visit your side of the family in Louisiana?
Oh, yes.
Did you regularly see him?
Yes. Once JJ learned how to fly, and excuse me, I need water. Once JJ learned how to fly, and that he was, because he was autistic, something like that is a big deal for him, and he loved it. So he was a little flyer. He loved to go in the airplane.
What did your brother Charles do for a living?
He sold annuities. He was a financial planner.
And how long did you know him to do that?
If I had to guess, 20 years, I guess.
Did he work for others or have his own business? What do you recall?
He had his own business.
Had he previously any times ever worked for others?
Yes.
Okay. But in July of 2019, he had his own business?
Yes.
Did he have a business partner?
He did, yes.
Did his job require him to travel a lot?
He did. He would be gone 3 or 4 days a week on average. Sometimes he didn't have to travel, but he was just, but yeah, he would be gone 3 or 4 days a week when he would be working.
I want to ask you a little bit about Charles. Was he sort of a meticulous person when it came to paperwork?
Oh, yes. I mean, for when you're doing that type of work, you have to be meticulous and methodical, and you can't make any errors. You can't miss a dot or crossing a T, because it will get kicked back to you, and then it just causes a lot of delay and a lot of trouble. So he was actually, he said, there was never anybody I've ever trusted to do this for me. And I was like, well, I'll do it for you, because
all right, we'll stop here.
Yeah.
So when Charles was working as financial planner, do you know if he had Lori help him with any part of his job?
I don't really know exactly what she did, but yes.
Okay.
But I don't know what she did.
Prior to Charles being a financial advisor, did he have a very different career in sports?
Oh, he was, he quit, I don't know if, I don't remember because I was quite young then, but He did, I believe he was drafted in the early 70s into the Houston Astros minor league.
So when you were growing up, did you see your brother playing baseball?
I was raised at a baseball field. If it wasn't Charles, Jerry played for years, my other brother, but Charles stuck with it, and that's how he got to college with a degree, with a scholarship.
So you got stuck many a night and a weekend having to be at the ball field with your brother.
Yes.
What position did your brother play?
He was a pitcher. He was very, very good. He was a left-handed pitcher, and they're very hard to hit against.
Okay. Did he bat right or left-handed?
He was left-handed.
Did he do everything left-handed?
Yes.
Right, left-handed? After your brother, well, let me ask you, do you know how long he played in the semi-pro?
I don't. He had moved to Houston, and but he blew out his knee, and that's ended that right there.
Did your brother stay in shape after that, even though he blew out his knee?
Oh yes, he was always doing something. Always bike riding, hiking, just anything. Gym, he was very active.
So every time you saw him, he was taking care of himself.
Yes.
I'm going to ask you a little bit about religion. Did your family grow up in the LDS church or faith?
No, we did not.
Did you know Charles to ever convert to the LDS faith?
He did at some point during his marriage to Lori.
Okay. When Lori and Charles were married, did they always live in one state, or did they move?
No, they lived here in Phoenix, in the Phoenix area, Chandler, Gilbert, and then they moved to Hawaii in 2014, and then they moved back late 2016 or early 2017.
Back to?
Back here to Phoenix area.
Do you recall where they were, what state they were in when they met?
When Charles and Lori met?
Yeah.
They were in Texas.
Texas, okay. In 2018 and 19, you told us that Charles and JJ would come visit you and the family regularly.
Yes.
In March of 2018, did you have a member of your family pass away?
Yes, my mother did in March of 18.
Did Charles come out for that?
Yes, he did. He was there for her services. Lori was not, and we felt like something was going on. Well, actually, my husband felt it before I did, and then when she didn't show for my mother's funeral, I just thought that was just appalling. It appalled me that she wouldn't even come to something like that with her husband.
What was your relationship like with Lori?
Because of the work I did, the company we owned, I was on the phone an extreme amount of time, all the time. So I really don't like to call people. I'm not a phone person. I'll text you all day long, but I really don't like to talk. And so Lori and I never really had a big phone relationship. It was a text here and there, but mostly Charles would keep me up to date as to different things that were going on, or what they were up to, or Charles would call. Yeah, Charles would call me mostly.
So it sounds like you weren't close with her.
When Lori and I were together, it was like we hadn't missed a minute. We just took up where we left off, and she's very outgoing, and she's very friendly and very easy to talk to, and So we got along rather well, and I loved her.
Okay. So continuing in 2018, do you recall seeing Charles and JJ coming out to visit you guys in October of 2018?
Yes.
What was that for?
Just a weekend visit.
Okay. What about in November of 2018? Did you see Charles and JJ then?
We did. My husband and myself and my granddaughter. We went to Las Vegas, and Charles and JJ met us there for the Thanksgiving holiday weekend. I thought that was odd. He wasn't with his family. He said Lori was sick or Tylee was sick is what he told us, but it just, I mean, he just wouldn't share what all was going on at that point. Then when he finally did, he
Call from Laura.
Hey, Laura. Is it Riker?
It's Reicher.
Reicher. Oh, sorry.
It's German. It's soft.
It was like three options, and I chose the wrong one. So, Laura.
Sorry, I missed.
Thank you for calling. First of all, I've got you live on the air. Is that all right?
Of course.
Okay, wonderful. You are in court every day in this trial with Lori Vallow, right?
Yes.
I have questions.
Okay.
Let me just ask a couple. I know chat has a few. Tell us again about the jury as far as the makeup of the jury, general ages.
Oh, I have all that written in a way so that I don't out anybody.
Right.
Actually, drew a little diagram and gave them all nicknames.
Okay, I need the nicknames too.
The nicknames are they're my own sense of humor. Way the jury
as long as you don't
made
call
up,
any of them Ned, I think you're going to be fine.
I don't think any of them would appreciate that at all. Okay, so first of all, the courtroom is so high tech.
Oh, good.
So I don't know if you want me to explain how the layout of the courtroom is, but I could do that too. The jury is off when you're facing the judge. They're off to the right. Mm-hmm. There's 2 rows of 9 seats, so enough to seat 18 people, but there's only 14.
Right.
So there's 9 people in the back row, and then 5 people closest to the judge in the second row. Okay. So I kind of broke them down by demographics. There are 2 women and 5 men. Wow. I mean, I'm sorry. I said that wrong. 2 women and 12 men.
2 men and 12. Okay, I was doing the math. I was still adding them up. But yeah, 2 men and 12 men.
And in Arizona, they picked the alternates or the alternates in a lottery at the end. So nobody knows who's the foreman and nobody knows who's going to deliberate.
Okay. Sounds great.
Not like Bev does it. Okay. They do it fair here.
Yeah.
Okay. And these statistics that I'm going to give, they don't necessarily add up necessarily, but my observations. Mm-hmm. Of the 12 men, 5 of them appear to me to be over 50. 7 of them appear to be under, obviously. 7 of them have beards.
Okay.
9 of them are white. 3 of them are ethnic, like Asian or Hispanic.
Okay.
Or possibly Native.
Okay.
Because this is Arizona, and there's a lot of mix of all of the above as well. There are no black people on the jury. Both of the women are white. One of them is younger than 50, and one of them appears older. I wrote funny stuff, like one of them. Okay, anyways, that's the descriptions. I'm happy to give you low level.
Do they sit in the same place every time, like juror number 1, 2, 3, 4, that sort of thing, or do they shuffle?
Yes, they do. And I know their jury numbers in relationship to where they're sitting.
So let me ask you this. Are the women mixed in, or are they towards the end of the...
No. So one woman is the 6th one of the 9 at top. So if you count the seats over from left to right, she's 6th.
and the other woman is the first one in the bottom row, or like above, like a little bit like stadium or movie. They're not.
So she might be
even.
juror number 1, as far as.
No, I know the jury number. So the person sitting in the 6th seat is juror number 8.
Okay.
And the woman sitting in the 10th seat, which is the first one on the bottom row, is juror number 12.
Okay. I was just curious. I wonder if she was like trying to strike all women to get all men on the jury.
I don't think so.
Just how it ended up. Okay.
The original opinion that, it's going to be a male jury and they're going to sympathize with her. I am seeing zero of that in their faces. I've yet to see somebody who sympathizes with her.
Let me ask you this: Is Lori paying attention to the jury, or does she even care that they're there?
She does at times. You have to realize that the people in the gallery, we only see the backs of their heads. And you guys can see the judge and the witnesses a lot better than we can because they're at least 50, 60 feet away from us.
Oh, wow. You've got a stadium in there. That's
Well,
huge.
can I tell you how it's kind of laid out?
Yeah.
Okay. So the gallery has 75 seats, and it's split into 2 sides, and there's 5 rows. So on one side, there's 8 seats times 5, and the other one, there's 7 seats times 5.
Okay.
So in both sides, left and right, family is in the front row, and the same left and right, media is in the back row. So they seat them first, and then they fill public into the remaining seats.
Okay. Is Lori making use of her standby counsel? Or are they interacting with her on a regular basis? Is she going to them, or are they going to her? Or are they just sort of taking up seats?
There's a lot of interaction between her and the standby counsel. There's 3 of them. Sometimes there's someone sitting next to her. Sometimes there isn't. There's 2 people behind her. From what I gather, it's 2 men and a woman. And sometimes there's another man. I'm going to assume that's her investigator. But they have, I didn't get introduced to them as a gallery member. And then at Trina's table, she has 2 people, a gentleman and a woman.
Okay. From our vantage point, I know media is in the media room, which is shooting through glass, like a mirrored window or something. Right?
But let me answer your question about Lori paying attention.
Yeah.
Okay. She is often writing notes. She likes to put her hand up while she's whispering to the people with her, or she'll turn around and face us a lot when she's talking to the 2 people behind her. She tries to make eye contact with the gallery. She's looked at me a few times, and she's always giggling and laughing and whispering with her co-people. They're telling her stuff, but sometimes she appears to be taking them seriously, but she seems to be running it. She's telling them what to do, writing things down and passing it to them. And they're basically like her staff is the impression that I get.
Wow. Do they appear to be frustrated at all, or does it seem like they're a cohesive team?
They seem to me like they just want to get through it. They're very poker faced and sometimes exacerbated, but the gentleman that sits next to her, he laughs with her all the time. You can tell she's flirty with him. And he reminds me of Harvey Weinstein in his look.
Okay. I wouldn't put that in the compliment category, but that's very clear. It paints a picture.
It's not his fault. That's what I see when I see him, but what he reminds me of. And he seems to be eating it up. I don't know if it's I have to be here, so I may as well make nice, or if he actually I don't know. But she doesn't confer much when she objects. On occasion, you'll see him whisper into her ear, and she may or may not react to what they're saying. But I would imagine if she was listening to lawyers, she wouldn't do half of the things that she's doing.
Were you able to observe the hand motion, the gun shape or something he did that she's suggested that she did while her brother was on the stand, while Cody was on the stand?
Not real. I mean, I could, but I have to admit, I didn't pay attention. I meant to go rewatch that. Can you describe it to me, and maybe it'll jog my memory?
She did like the finger gun at somebody or during Cody's testimony.
Yes, I do remember that. And a lot of opportunities that Trina K may have, and I'm just guessing, to object. I'm getting the attitude that she's given her enough rope. Like, she could object, but she's doing such a great job of making herself look bad all by herself.
Yeah. Interesting. You mentioned in chat, I think you said that some of the jurors seem really confused because there's a lot of very specific religious terminology that's used in this trial. Does it look like some of them might have some familiarity with it?
Yeah. Well, honestly, I'm not of that faith. I'm Jewish. So a lot of what they're saying, I'm like, what? No, I don't understand. And there's a lot of people that don't understand. And there's also, there's quite a high number of LDS people in the gallery.
Okay.
More disapproving, and like, they don't want their religion to get a bad name. But
yeah.
I don't know. I've had a couple of talk to me, and I'm like, yeah, I'm Jewish. I'm no thanks.
I'll pass. I misspoke. I said it was Colby's testimony. It was during Adam's testimony. Colby said he saw it, apparently. That she did. Saw the finger gun thing that Lori did.
Oh, when he was there yesterday, he was on the right side of the gallery in the very front aisle seat. So like practically in the middle, just catty corner, nothing really in the way
Two would have had a
of
great
him,
view.
except the counsel that's sitting behind her a little bit to the side. But he was staring at the back of her head quite a bit. He looked mostly like he was just embarrassed, furious. A lot of times you could see him clench his jaw and just look down and shake his head. I mean, he's disapproving.
Is the jury giving any feedback in some of either the aggressive cross moments or where she's, asking about if you remember my green chili chicken enchilada, enchiladas that I served?
Yeah. The jurors, you can tell they're trying very hard to keep a poker face. And I want to say this about the jury. Arizona is a very casual place just because it's so hot here. Suits and ties are not as common as they are back east. And the first few days, I was surprised at how casual the jury was, like jeans and T-shirts and shorts. And one guy had like a bright orange sweatshirt from a BMX or something like that. And all of a sudden yesterday, they all came in with button-down shirts. And they looked cleaned up. Like I would think that somebody said something to them.
They mean business. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Is the courtroom sort of being run and managed very strictly? I mean, is there a lot of freedom to move in and out? Phones in the courtroom? Are you allowed to text or take notes?
I have a story about that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much I can tell you, and I don't want to just talk. I do want to answer your questions. Real quickly, let me describe for your viewers the courtroom. So you walk into two double doors, and there's like a little entryway and another set of double doors, similar to a movie theater. So when you're walking in, the first doors aren't opening yet, so whatever noise is happening with you coming in, it doesn't disturb the quiet inside. It's an extremely high-tech courtroom. When you go in, it's a lot like an airport. There's big screens up with all the different floors and different courtrooms and the times and the names of the judge and what case it is. Like, you can just walk up to these marquees after you go through security, just like an airport, and see exactly where you have to go.
Okay.
And again, outside of every courtroom, everything's electronic. Like some places you see a paper marquee or little numbers on a push-stand plastic numbers. It's not like that at all. When you open the door wide, it stays open through magnets, and nothing squeaks, nothing makes any noise. Everything's really nice. When you go in the gallery...
It's all that gambling money. but to use.
We've had a courthouse that's been here forever, since I've been here.
Yeah.
This court, it's the second wing. We call it the South Courthouse. There's East and South, even though they're technically North and West, but whatever. That's the way they name them. And the one that this is in was built in 2012. So it's very modern. And when you're sitting in the gallery, to each side, I'm not exaggerating, they're like 50 or 60-inch screens, 2 of them on each side.
Whoa.
So I can look straight up the evidence and, oh my God, the pictures of Charles, I think they blurred him out on TV, but they left the photographs of his body up for like 2 hours, and it's very sad. Anyway, and then behind the witness is another screen, and across the courtroom, so the jury is on the right-hand side if you're facing the judge, and on the left-hand side, there's a huge screen as big as the jury box that comes down from the wall, and that's what they see.
Wow.
And as far as sidebars, there's 5 sets of headphones with microphones and a little, looks like a cell phone, maybe. It's not an actual cell phone, but the device that there are. And the sidebars is the judge sits in his seat and the prosecution and defense stay in theirs, and they just talk from their seats to each other, and they put on white noise. So they can whisper as much as they want into the microphone that's in front of their mouths, and nobody can hear anything or see their mouths moving. So the judge has one, the court reporter has another one, Trina Kay has the third one, and Lori had the fourth one. And yesterday she asked for Lori Vallow asked for another headset for her counsel. And I'm sure you've noticed that this judge does not take long. He's very soft-spoken. He doesn't say much, but he makes decisions, and he makes them very quickly and very concisely. And he just goes, well, there's 5, and we need the 4 we have. So, yes, you can have the 5th one. That's it.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about some of the other people who are there in court aside from the family. Is there a lot of interest? Is a lot of people traveling in? Are you meeting some names?
There's media, like mainstream media. There's YouTube media. There's probably media, and I don't even know who they are. There's a gentleman who was a juror originally and wrote a book. I don't know. There's other YouTubers there, but I feel bad. I don't always know all their names. The general public seems to be predominantly, and you won't be surprised, middle-aged women.
Okay.
And I've lived in Phoenix for 40 years, and there's a Mormon population here, but I don't know if people realize that the metropolitan Phoenix area consists of many, many cities, and it's the 5th largest city in the United States. We have 4.5 million people in this county alone. And what we call the East Valley, which is considered like Mesa, Gilbert, Chandler, and Queen Creek and stuff like that, is where most, it is known for being mostly Mormon will live there.
Yeah. There are some parts of Arizona that were, I guess, settled by LDS member pioneers back in the day.
Especially northern Arizona, because we border over there, the Four Corners are here. So, yes, that's true. But mostly I don't even know what the proper word is, but your traditional, single marriage, working family, Mormon couples is mostly what I've known and been familiar with in my experience. I don't know much craziness that happens here, but it's like birds of a feather. We don't have the ethnic neighborhoods like they do in New York, like Chinatown and things like that.
Yeah, it's not diverse like that.
Yeah, if you were a Mormon and you wanted to move to Arizona, you'd probably end up in the East Valley just because there's a lot of temples there and things like that.
Okay.
I live in an area called Scottsdale, and Scottsdale is a very long, thin city. So from North Scottsdale to South Scottsdale is many, 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 many miles. And I live in South Scottsdale, closer to where the city of Tempe, which is where ASU is, Scottsdale and Phoenix border.
Yeah.
They touch right over there. And that's where I live, near something called Papago Park, which is beautiful. Right. It looks like a little piece of Sedona right in the middle of the city of Phoenix. So it's not far for me to go downtown, even though I live in Scottsdale. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. I used to work for a company that had a building down in Phoenix, and I'd have to travel down there. I have to. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. So I've been many times. I love it. It's blazing hot. Blazing hot in the summer.
Yeah. And it's a very modern city.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of historic buildings. I mean, there's some, and it's sad to say that a lot of buildings get torn down and rebuilt for something modern. It's kind of sad because, anyway, you know what I mean.
Laura,
it's always like, yeah.
You are incredibly observant. You're doing an amazing job. Everyone in chat is commenting, wow, this is incredibly, I love the insight, love this. Tell me, do you have any social medias that you're posting on or that we can link and shout out?
I do. I'm on X, and you can DM me. I think, what do I come up on as YouTube? I think it's the same. It's my name with a J in the middle, at Laura J. Reicher.
All right.
But I'm not personally social media,
Are you doing
creator.
Are you doing any coverage of this trial on social media?
Not yet. I mean, I did something, but anyway.
If you can text me the links, I'd love to shout it out. I love that you're doing this. We'd love to continue getting updates as you're able. But I'd like to also, get some people back to you.
I did do something, and it was more on a funny level, more of like a people study. It's more comedic, but there's a lot of serious things to discuss too. So if I told you about that one and people just saw that, they might get the wrong impression that I could be very serious.
Hang
I
on,
could be very funny.
People on the internet jump to conclusions? What? I've never heard of that.
I know. I've already had 2 jump to conclusions that involved me in this trial. If you ever want to.
That's wild. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, Laura, thank you. I look forward to talking to you some more. We're not following this case day by day, but we do want to jump in and get some updates periodically and follow. Obviously, it's a very intriguing case. A lot of us are very interested in it. We're going to follow day by day the Karen Reed trial, but it really works out with Karen Reed being on the East Coast and the Lori Vallow trial being Arizona time, which is way later. It's especially this time of year. That we'll have some opportunity to catch up and see some of the spicy bits and things like that. And so if you're able, I'd love to continue getting some feedback from you.
I do. I want to tell you that I have like 50 pages of notes and my own personal commentary, which I will tell you, I sit next to different people every day, and all the time people are looking over my shoulder and they have to stop themselves from laughing because I write some funny stuff in there. Like when she made the comment about the enchiladas, I don't know why, but I wrote, they're not as good as mine.
I think some people might be going to court just to read your notes.
Like I will tell you that Colby, Ryan, and Kate Woodcock sat together and were very supportive to each other. And when Kay Woodcock got off, there's a couple things that I observed that you probably don't see. When Kay Woodcock got off the stand, it was just like a fist pumping, nailed it kind of reaction from everybody, like almost like breathtaking. She was amazing.
It's like the whole dugout came out to, give him high fives after hitting a homer type thing.
Yeah, and I don't know, did they show how Colby and Kay gave each other a big hug?
I haven't seen that yet. I haven't got there yet.
Yeah, they hugged for a long time.
Oh, that's good.
And Lori tried to smile at Colby, but he was not having any of it. And they're very supportive to each other. I know that Larry isn't there because she told me, Kay, that he's taking care of a family member at home, so he's doing that. I got to talk to Nate Eaton a lot. He's just as lovely as you see him on TV. He's very, very nice. There's other reporters there. Some reporter tried to start mountains out of molehills with me. Something happened in the court, and I'll tell you about it if you want to know. But there's so many observations that I have had. The one big one was, remember Nancy Joe, who told her, I kept calling her Mary Jane. I'm so embarrassed. But when she said, don't flatter yourself, and had that testimony, Trina Kay, the prosecutor, is very professional, stoic. She reminds me of like a Powerpuff Girl. Like she just comes in and she just is perfect every time. And she doesn't show much emotion.
Yeah.
But when she was walking Nancy Jo out of the courtroom, right when she got past where the camera could see her, she like smiled really big and looked at us, and we were like, "Yep, you did it." And it was really the only emotion I saw out of her, but she knew that went very well.
Yeah.
And the jury mostly looks like stunned. They're raising a lot of eyebrows. Like, I don't know if that means confusion or if that means what. I don't see a lot of people sympathetic. They kind of look at her when she's talking like, here we go again. What's she going to say now? I see a lot of note taking, and I was surprised at how many young men that I would say under 30 are on the jury.
Wow.
Really young. Like my kid's age.
Laura, that is awesome. Thank you so much. Do you happen to be on the Facebook page, on our Facebook page?
I'm on Facebook, but I might not check it till like 2030 or something.
I'm the same way.
I have a question. The phone that you got, is that the one that's sitting on your desk facing you on your left?
Yeah.
There's a cell.
Yeah.
Can it give text? Because or you have my number.
Yes,
I hope you didn't
I've
show
got it.
But you're welcome to text me, and then I have all my notes. They're hysterical, and I'm happy to talk to you offline, and then you can ask me questions and decide what you want said and not said. I don't want to get myself kicked out or anything, but I am allowed to talk about my object.
And you're doing a great job. Laura, thank you very much. We'll definitely have to. Yeah.
One last thing. So when I described the gallery to you and the two TV screens, behind the right side of the gallery, there's a window similar to what you see in a movie theater where the projector comes out, but it's only about 6 feet high. And that's where the camera is. And that's why it doesn't move around, but it's kind of good that they can't just sit there and focus in on the defendant or get too close. But that's the way it is. It's fixed behind that glass.
Okay. Awesome. That is fantastic. I feel like I've been there now. You've walked us through it. The courtroom seems like home now. Laura, thank you very much. You are fantastic at this. I don't know where you got this skill and ability, but you're wonderful at it, and we definitely appreciate it.
I was happy to do it, and I'll tell you what the other channel was that I was on, and you can decide whether you want to share it or not.
Oh, feel free to share it. That's great. Please do.
Well, it was on Liz Benson, but I don't think everybody.
Liz Benson?
Liz Benson is fantastic. She's incredibly brilliant. She's also a stand-up comedian, and she has a different sense of humor, and not everybody's going to like it. And the way we did it was more for fun. And my observations as Laura, instead of trying to be like more professional about it, we had a lot of fun doing it. And I was on there for like an hour and a half.
That's awesome. That's really cool. No, I really appreciate all the different type of creators and the people that look at it from a different angle. Some that take a less reserved look, and poke a little bit of fun and things. I learn and appreciate all of it. So love it. And there's enough room on YouTube for all of us. So.
I have to say hello for my friend Michelle Friesen, who's the one that introduced me to your channel and told me I needed Michelle.
Yep.
So thank
Wonderful.
you.
Michelle,
and
thank you. Laura, thank you. We'll talk again soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Awesome call. Okay, we have to wrap things up today. I realize we're still in deliberation. I don't know what to do. I was expecting the verdict to be done by now. We're over 6.5 hours of deliberation time in this case, and I've got a live stream to set up. For a parenting class, which I need to be there in. We've got a little bit of time. We can go for. We might be able to finish. We might be able to finish this. Hold tight. Yeah. Let's see. 7, 19. We might be able to finish this.
He unloaded it all.
Hang on. You need to be able to see.
So in 2018, did you have any idea there were any, let me say this. In 2018, did you have some concerns about their relationship?
Yes, it was for him to come as often as they were coming was odd, and just he was just unsettled, and we knew something was going on, but he would never say.
Okay.
So he did, he talked to us when he was ready.
When we get into 2019, did you start to see your brother more?
Yes.
First, without going into what Charles said, did you ever become aware finally that his marriage with Lori was in trouble?
Yes, I did.
In 2019, again, without going into what Charles said, did you ever believe that Charles was concerned for his safety?
Charles was absolutely concerned for his safety. Lori had sent me a text, I think it was on a Thursday, that she and Charles were fighting because of some stuff she came up with, and that she and JJ and Tylee were at a hotel. Well, I guess Tylee was, I'm not sure. And because she didn't want to have any fighting, so they went to a hotel. And I came out. I knew Charles the next day. That's when she sent it to me. And then I just really I didn't call Charles. I knew he'd call me, and he sure enough did. And he was a mess. And so I flew out the next day out here to help him with JJ, and just to come and talk to him and see what was going on. He was alone, and Lori's family turned their backs on him and JJ. Okay.
Let's just kind of break it all down.
All right.
Now you got a lot that you remember. So you said that you got a text from Lori indicating that she and JJ and Tylee were at a hotel.
Mm-hmm.
And then you said that Charles then called you maybe the next day,
Yeah.
and you came out here to Arizona.
Yes.
When you came out here to Arizona, did you become aware at that point that there was a big problem now with their relationship?
There was a huge problem now with their relationship.
And during this time when you had come out here, do you remember approximately when that was?
It's like the 1st of February of 2019, or the 2nd. It was right in there.
When you came out here, did you then speak with Charles about his concerns for his safety? Just yes or no?
About his what?
His concerns for his safety.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
That's just yes. Is this the time where, well, let me ask it this time. When you came out here, did you see Lori?
No.
When you came out here, did anyone know where Lori was?
No, nobody was talking about where she was. Nobody would tell Charles where she was.
So your brother was trying to find where she was?
Yes, he was.
Where was JJ at this time?
He was with Charles, and that's one of the reasons I came out was to help him with JJ, because he was quite a handful, and Charles was a mess. He was broken. He was a broken-hearted man.
So you come out here. Charles has JJ. Where's Tylee? Do you know?
She's, as far as we knew, she was staying at Lori's brother's. That's what we knew then.
Okay. Did you have any interaction with her?
No.
Okay. How long did Charles have JJ where he's looking for Lori and can't find her?
Well, that portion of the time was 58 days, and I knew how many days it was because every day Charles would say something. He would tell me.
So he was counting them.
He would count them.
Were you out here the whole time? What'd you do?
I could work remotely at the time, so I did stay out here a lot, often, but I would fly back. I was back and forth between Louisiana and here from from February until the end of March, because at that point we moved Charles to Houston.
So the end of March, you said you were moving Charles to Houston. Was that with JJ?
Yes.
Why are you helping him move to Houston?
Because Charles told me that Lori did not want JJ anymore, or Kylie, or him. And I said, okay, well, look, what if you move to Houston and I'll be 2.5 hours away, and when you go out of town, I'll come and stay with JJ. And so he was talking about hiring a nanny, and I said, no, I will be the nanny, and I'll come and take care of him when you have to work. And it's easy enough, and you won't have to pay a penny.
So when Charles has JJ, you're helping take care of JJ in this time period in February and March?
Yes.
What about Charles's business? Did you help with that at all?
Yes. I had to get my arms around the whole thing. All the payments that needed to be made, the accounts, the emails, all that stuff you have to change over and change the password and all that, so Lori couldn't access it any longer.
You said you had your own job. What were you doing at that time in addition to helping your brother?
My husband and I owned a coastal crew change. It was a transportation company for the offshore oil and gas and LNG industry.
Okay. So you're trying to work that job and help Charles with his business.
Yes, I had a really great assistant who helped me an awful lot.
Do you remember when you were packing up to move Charles to Houston?
Yes.
You there?
I was there.
Did Lori show back up?
She did. I was in the pantry in the kitchen, packing up the pantry, and I don't know what, just something caught my attention, and I walked out and she was standing there. She had her back to me. Charles was sitting at the table on his phone, and he obviously didn't realize that she was there. And then finally, when he hung up, he looked up and there she was, and he started crying, and she started yelling.
Do you recall what she was yelling about?
That, why did you take JJ? Why did you take JJ? Why did you take him out of school? Why are you moving? What are you doing? All this is your fault. It was just ridiculous.
So she'd been gone for 58 days, leaving.
No contact whatsoever.
And then she shows up at the house when you guys are moving out.
Yeah.
What was Charles's demeanor reaction? You said he was crying?
He was at first, but then he was just trying. Charles was a very soft-spoken man, and he was just trying to get a word in edgewise. And finally, Lori settled down a little bit, and they went and they talked for a while in the living room, or the I guess it's like a great room. And then they moved to the bedroom to talk. And I could still hear every now and then Lori would get a little loud, but they were talking. And then I remember that Lori came. Let's see, I was sitting at the dining table, and she stood next to me and she said, "I love you, KK." And I said, "Well, I love you too. I'm sorry this is happening." And she cried, and I didn't know what to do really. So, I mean, I just was there. And then she walked off, and the next day she came, I don't know who came, but they got Tylee's belongings out of the casita where all of Tylee's belongings were. And I don't remember if she got anything of hers. I really don't remember.
Okay. So are we now talking the beginning, end of March, beginning of April of 2019 when Charles is moving back to Houston?
Yes.
Did he bring JJ with him?
Yes. Well, in order for me and Charles to move in, Larry, I flew out here and brought JJ back to Louisiana with me. And then my husband, Larry, kept him for a week while I flew back here to help Charles pack and then drive back to Houston.
All right, so you guys rented a big truck and drove it?
He drove the U-Haul. I drove his pickup.
All right. When you and Charles got to Houston, then did your husband bring JJ back?
Yes, he did.
Through all of this time with Charles when he was looking for Lori while she was gone for those 58 days, did he still want Lori to be part of JJ's life?
He did. He never was trying to take that away from Lori, even though Lori didn't want him anymore. I still didn't. I never really understood that, but I guess he was just hoping for the best. But yes, he absolutely wanted her to be part of his life, Lori's life.
So once Charles moved to Houston, did Lori ever also move out there?
I don't know if you call it moved out there, but she did. She came that day on March 28th. Charles said, "Look, we're moving to Houston. You're welcome to come. I'll fly you out Sunday." And she said, "No, I'm busy. I have a project," or something she was doing in Hawaii. She said, "It'll be about 2 weeks and I'll be in Houston." So whatever she did, she was gone for 2 more weeks. It was a total of 72 days, I believe, she was gone altogether. And then she was there. She and Tylee moved in at Charles's, and Charles said that she slept in JJ's room with him.
So the first 2 weeks when Charles and JJ are in Houston without Lori, were you ever there to help with JJ or Charles's business?
No, Lori was there. I mean,
I guess
JJ was
before she moved there. The 2 weeks.
Oh, I think.
Or did you?
I had to go home for a little while, but Charles came like the weekend, and, so if I wasn't here, he was there.
Okay. So once you drove him there, you may have stayed to help him, and then you went home.
Yeah.
And you weren't there when Lori came to Houston?
No.
You told us that you had been helping your brother with his business, and I think you'd said something about changing passwords?
Yeah.
Was that to different financial accounts?
Right. Credit card, banks, stuff like that. Yeah, the password to Google, the password to,
all the things you use for business.
Yeah, yes.
And so when you started helping him, you had changed a lot of those passwords.
Yes.
At some point, did you become aware that, or at some point, did Charles stop asking you to help him with the business?
He did, and that's when Lori came back.
Okay. Now, you said that your brother worked in annuities, right?
Yes.
Right? That last part of the time when you were working with him up through sort of the end of March, beginning of April, were you aware of Charles coming into a large amount of money?
He was receiving an annuity. What do you call it? I can't think of the word right now, but he was receiving like $125,000 check for his commission for annuities, and Lori obviously knew that because she was there just a few days before that came into the bank. That was deposited into the bank. I had access to the bank, so I would watch that.
Okay. So even though Lori came back, you still had the passwords to look into Charles's account?
Yes.
Do you know how long Lori stayed in Texas with Charles?
It's like she wasn't there the entire time, but I mean, she was always traveling through May. I'll say towards the end of May. I'm not for sure exactly what day.
Okay. So at some point, a couple months later, you become aware that she has left Houston?
Yes.
Did you know where she went?
Yeah, she was back back here.
Did JJ come with her when she moved back here to Arizona?
He did.
And did you know, did your brother move back here?
No, he did not.
And with your access to the finances, were you aware whether or not Charles was paying for a house here in Arizona for Lori and JJ?
I really don't recall seeing that transaction. I really don't, but that doesn't mean it didn't happen. At that time, I was selling my company, and so I had a lot going on at that time, and that's when it was really getting, the due diligence. The company was doing their due diligence, so I had to provide a lot of information for them, and so it really was perfect timing because when I got super busy with my company and I didn't have to deal with all of Charles's because Lori was back. Let
me ask you something else.
Ricky
Were you
C,
aware of when
thank you very
Charles met Lori, or they got married? Do you know if she worked?
She was a hairdresser. She did work as a hairdresser, and I don't know exactly when she quit working, but I don't think she worked long, if she did, after they got married.
Okay. So for most of the time when you knew them to be married, you did not see her working outside the home?
No.
Did Charles, I guess, work so she could stay home with the kids?
Yes, he was fine with being a one income, letting her stay home, tend to the kids, and he would be the money maker.
Now, I know that we've talked about Charles working in the area of financial planning. Did you know if Charles had a life insurance policy?
Yes.
That's something that, how did you learn about that?
Well, I mean, he had told my husband Larry and I years ago, he helped us acquire a $1 million life insurance policy for me and my husband each. And because he always had one and Lori had one. So that was nothing new or unusual to talk about.
Okay. At some point when you were helping Charles, when Lori had disappeared and Charles didn't know where she was, did you have a conversation with Charles about the beneficiary of his life insurance?
Yes. It was early February when I came here to help him with JJ, and he said, look, I'm going to change, take Lori off as beneficiary, and I'm going to put you as a beneficiary. And I was like, we talked about maybe a minute and a half about it, and I was like, okay, whatever. I really don't want to be that person, but okay. And I never followed up to see if he changed. I didn't know until I got the phone call after he was killed.
So the discussion you had of that change was during that time period when he couldn't find Lori, he had no idea where he was, and he was taking care of JJ?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And you were helping him take care of JJ?
Yes.
So if something had happened to Charles during that time when Lori wasn't around, would you have taken care of JJ?
Yes, he would have come back to me and my husband.
So I want to kind of go to right around that July time period. Do you recall when was the last time, I'll start with, when was the last time you saw your brother, Charles?
That's a good question. Probably must have been in June.
And do you recall where that was or the
I think he came to
circumstances?
Lake Charles for the weekend.
Did you see JJ then?
Yeah, no. The last time I saw JJ was May 18th.
When was the last time you recall speaking or texting with your brother, Charles?
He texted me the night before he was shot, and just, hey, I'm going to be in Phoenix tomorrow, and how's it going? And just a little short text, and I'm boarding the plane now, and I'll be back in Phoenix in a little bit. And then he told me a few other things he had planned, but that was not much, not a big deal.
Did
Nothing
you think
major.
he was going to Phoenix to just see JJ?
Yes.
Did you know anything about any type of intervention?
No, he never talked. If he did talk to me about it, and I'm pretty sure I would have remembered that. But no, I know that he and Adam was his confidant during that time, Lori's brother. And so I know that whatever he was doing, Adam was part of it. And, they were just, I knew he was in good hands with Adam, because Adam, they loved Charles, him and his wife.
Do you have any knowledge of Charles wanting to get a place here in Phoenix so he could be closer to JJ?
I don't remember that, but I can't remember that. I mean, I don't know.
No,
I can't
okay,
answer that.
that's okay. I want to talk to you then about, so you talked to your brother, just kind of normal stuff as he was, before he got here to Phoenix. How did you learn that your brother Charles was dead?
It was on July the 12th. I was at a nail salon in Lake Charles, my granddaughter and I, and I got a call from his oldest son, Cole, and he said, hey, what is going on? I just got a text from Lori, and she said, Dad's dead. And I said, wait, what did you just say? And he told me again, and I said, something's wrong with that. That can't be true. And I said, have you tried to call her? And Cole's like, yes, she won't. I'm trying calling. She's not answering. He was freaking out, and I was like, okay, Cole, just give me a minute. Let me think about this. Let me see, and I'll call you back. I promise, as soon as I can figure this out. So I called my husband to tell him, and he said, okay, well, I told him that what the Cole said, and he said, "Hey, let me call you back in a minute." And so I was still at the nail salon trying to get out of there, and he called and he said, "He's dead." I Googled him, and he's dead. Alex killed him yesterday. And I mean, that was just like, it was horrible. I have to call my siblings and let them know.
Some tissue.
Thank you. And everybody was just freaked out. I didn't know what to do. But I did call Cole back and let him know that it was true, and just was telling him, let's keep in touch. You find out something, I find out something, we'll let each other know. And
Did you try to reach out to Lori?
I tried calling, texting Charles. I tried calling, texting Lori. And at some point, she texted me. She returned a text, something like, "I'm having to deal with a lot of stuff and I'm busy." And she was too busy to even call his family to say that he was dead by her brother killing him. And
Take a breath. So you had tried to reach her and she was too busy to talk to you.
yeah.
Did you ever, what was the burial plans? Did you ever get Charles back? What happened with him?
We ended up calling a detective, the detectives in Chandler, since that's where it happened. And we were able to speak to a detective, I don't know who, but we told them that I had already arranged just a flight for the next day. We were here by noon Saturday because I needed to know where JJ was. I didn't know what he had seen. I didn't know what he knew. I knew he would be, I knew it wasn't good, but I couldn't, we had to talk to the detectives before I did anything with Lori. And we had to wait till Sunday to meet with Nate Moffitt. And then when we talked to him is when I told him about the life insurance policy, and that Lori, that I didn't know if Charles had ever changed it to me like he said he was going to do. And so I didn't know, but I just knew we had to get JJ because he was not safe with her.
Let me stop you there.
Yeah, stop right there.
I'm going to go back to
Hang on. Pause,
Charles.
Pause. We have action in the courtroom.
10 minutes.
We have action in the courtroom, something about 10 minutes. Hold on. Now it's time to do some digging. What happens in 10 minutes? I'm not seeing anything. This is live right now. People are coming into the courtroom. A lot of people. Could be end of day. It's about that time. They've ended at 4:30 before. This is it's now almost 5 o'clock. Don't think we have any court watchers down there right now. So. Doing some checking online. Okay. I'm seeing nothing, but the courtroom is filling up as if this is a verdict. There's a lot of emotion. People are on their phones. Is there anything? Is anyone seeing anything? Probably end of day stuff. Why would they bring everyone in? Why would they bring everyone in? That's his son there. Her son. His son. The family's there. With the spouses. All three boys present right there in that shot. We're looking. I need just to confirm. I think we're seeing it. Hang on one second. Under 8 hours of deliberation. Guys, we're trying to dig this. We don't want to put out any false information. So we've got to verify before we send anything out. Still no word. I've got 7 hours and 15 minutes of deliberations, but we've never seen the courtroom this full. There wasn't this full this morning for closings, and having all the family present. It could just be going home. It could just be gathering everyone to discuss something. This would not be a question. Too many zoom ins. We don't know what's going on. Hold tight. It has the signature of something like a verdict, but it could be that they're hung, and that could be why there's no announcement of a verdict. Let's see. It's awfully quiet. This is X has it posted, but I need to verify sources. We see things posted on X all the time. All the families there. I've waited all day for this, and now I'm on the edge of my seat. I'm going to be late to the parenting class. I see there's somebody named Lil Sis Greentree who has posted something, but I don't know where they're getting the information. I can't independently confirm that right now. Oh, we're staying. I only have to be there. It's a 15-minute drive. I have to be there at 6. So I'm cutting it close. Amber, I see that one. I don't see anything else. I don't know who that is. Is the topic for parenting class punctuality? No, it's me providing the live stream for everyone who's participating. I don't take the class. I just enable it. I'm not seeing it. This has every indication, I'll say it, of a hung jury, not a verdict. Give an Allen charge or a dynamite charge. I don't know. Does yeah, we don't know. This is a hold tight. Hold tight and wait. If this is a verdict, it's the closest held secret I've ever heard. None of the big networks are posting any updates about this. Nobody's saying there's a verdict. But the family being there, this is calling everyone in like this is not normal for a juror question. It's also not normal just for the end of day deliberation. To have all the family, everybody brought in, and give a warning, a 10-minute timer. It would be consistent with a hung jury. That's all I can say. It would be consistent with a hung jury.
Court calls the case of People versus Linda Stermer. Counsel are present. Ms. Stermer is present. I've been advised by the jury that they've reached a verdict. And to the members in the audience, please, I know there's a lot of emotion involved, but when the verdict is read, please remain silent. And also, the jury has indicated a desire to leave immediately after their verdict, so we'll all wait in the courtroom, give them 5 minutes to clear out of here. The record should reflect we only have one question from the jury, which was a request for exhibit log. Everybody agreed to provide that to them. And other than that, anything else, counsel, before we bring in the jury?
After 7 hours and 24 minutes of deliberation.
They asked if they could open a piece of physical evidence.
Oh, I forgot about that.
But I believe that,
Right.
I think that was the only other thing.
Okay, yeah, thank you, I forgot about that one.
7 hours and 20 minutes of deliberation.
Anything else then, before we bring in the jury?
The jury asked.
We'll bring in the jury for the verdict.
The jury asked to see a log. They asked to open up one piece of sealed evidence. Could it have been the sweatpants? Could they have literally been smelling for gasoline on the sweatpants? I don't know what that was. The jury has expressed the desire to leave immediately after the verdict is read, but Linda Stermer is about to find out her fate, if this retrial will set her free or if she'll be returning to prison, possibly for the rest of her life, as the jury has in fact reached a verdict in one full day of deliberating.
Okay, jury, I am advised that you have reached a verdict, and the clerk of the court will now accept the verdict. We'll have the foreperson please rise.
Has the jury agreed upon a verdict?
Yes, we have.
What is your verdict, please?
We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of first-degree premeditated murder. We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of first-degree felony murder.
Members of the jury, listen to your verdict as recorded. In regards to count 1, guilty of first-degree premeditated murder. Count 2, guilty of first-degree felony murder. Is this the verdict of the foreperson?
Yes, it is.
Is this the verdict of the jury?
Yes, it is.
Okay, you can have a seat, sir. We're going to poll the jury now.
If you could pass the microphone to juror in seat number 1, please. Juror in seat number 1, is this your verdict?
Yes.
Juror in seat number 2, is this your verdict?
Yes, it is.
Juror in seat number 3, is this your verdict?
Yes, it is.
Juror in seat number 4, is this your verdict?
Yes, it is.
Juror in seat number 6, is this your verdict?
Yes, it is.
Juror in seat number 15, is this your verdict?
Yes, it is.
Juror in seat number 14, is this your verdict?
Yes.
Juror in seat number 13, is this your verdict?
Yes.
Juror in seat number 12, is this your verdict?
Yes.
Juror in seat number 11, is this your verdict?
Yes.
Juror in seat number 10, is this your verdict?
Yes.
Juror in seat number 8, is this your verdict?
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, we know what she said right there.
Counsel, if you can approach to review the verdict form, please.
Did not get to see Linda's reaction to that.
Comport with the verdict we just received in open court.
But the sons were stoic. No celebration on their part. A flat
I've
affect.
now received the verdict and confirmed that it comports with the verdict received in open court and confirmed by polling. So, verdict having been received, I now thank you for your service. This was a very significant and time-consuming case. We were worried we would not get a jury to stay through it all and work through it all, and it was a lot of work. I've never had a jury ask as many questions as you did. So on behalf of all of us here, I want to thank you for a job well done as far as listening to the evidence and paying attention to everything, taking the serious time to deliberate the case as well. So thank you, and we're going to have everyone here wait in the courtroom a bit. I'm told the jurors want to get out of here and go, so we'll stay in the courtroom and give you guys the space to get out of the building, and thank you. And you're done. You can watch the
news. You're done. Wow, we got a last minute verdict. Literally, we're going to wrap up for the day because I've got to go. The jury returned a verdict of guilty as charged. The maximum, they did not go for lesser included. This means that in all likelihood, she is returning back to a sentence of life without parole. The argument the defense brought up that the state did not know exactly how the fire started and could not prove the point or how Linda started the fire did not resonate with the jury. They were able to look at the circumstantial evidence surrounding that, with how she prepared and what she did afterwards, with hitting with the van and everything else, to fill in the blanks that the state was not able to provide, and determined that circumstantial evidence was enough to reach a guilty verdict. They did not show her. I don't know why they are not showing her, but it's done. It's feeds are off. So, wow. I was on the edge of my seat. I was worried. I told you from the beginning that I felt she was guilty, and I was not able to give her the benefit of the doubt in this trial. Having viewed the evidence from a previous trial legal proceeding, I looked at that and said, I can't see not guilty. I couldn't unsee that evidence. The jury did not have the benefit of knowing about the gasoline-soaked towels that were down in the laundry. But they were still able to reach the conclusion, pin the pieces together. We were concerned. I was concerned with one juror who made that facial expression to the state, saying that the state's fire inspector didn't do anything wrong. I was concerned that there was a strong holdout. I don't know if that juror ever deliberated or not, but incredible. What a way to end the week. Oh my goodness. Hopefully the family, and by family I mean all of Linda Stermer's children can move on. This has consumed their life for so many years, and all the pain doesn't go away. Hopefully, I wish nothing but good things for them going forward. Tonight when you go home, please hug the people you love, smile at someone, make their day just a little bit better, and please stay safe till we go live again Monday morning with a little bit of maybe Lori Vallow watching. We're getting prepped for Karen Reed. I think that starts next week. It's going to be crazy. You guys have a great weekend. Love you all. Be good to each other. Have fun. We'll see you. Bye-bye.
Because he's the guy.